One thing people always ask us is what is Culture Pit all about? And like, I guess now is as good as any other time to finally address that. So before we get into anything, what is up, people of the internet? This is After Dark episode 6, I think. 6 or yeah, episode 6. So here we are. It's your boys from Culture Pit again. This is Paolo, Seb, Gab, and Bon. And right now, I think this is a little different from your usual After Dark podcast. We normally talk about things that are going on in the geek and pop culture world. Right now, it's more of a rebirth of sorts of Culture Pit because we've done a lot of things in the past, and we've shared a lot of those things with you guys, but yeah, I don't think we ever really got into who we are as a group. So this is something that we wanted to do to just for you guys to get to know us better, and hopefully in the future for us to get to know you guys better. So yeah, Culture Pit, basically it's we are a media group, focused more on the geek and pop culture side of things. We basically pool all our interests together because we're all interested in different things, and we're all interested in the same things. We just want to share that with you. So actually, like when Seb and I, conceptualized it one day, it was basically we just wanted to put like a haven for geeks such as ourselves, and we wanted to bring people on board. We've had a history of like not we've had a history of bringing in people, but things come and go, and now we're proud to say that this is the team, this is the Culture Pit that will be giving you as much entertainment as humanly possible for the next
so far
God knows how long. So yeah, Seb, I think Seb and I have had like our history. Of course, I think he wants to talk more about like how CP was conceptualized. So yeah, buddy, like just so the people know, go ahead.
I mean, first of all, let's not put this as my idea solely. We all agreed on this. Yeah. But Culture Pit started 2016, 2017.
2017. Yeah.
All right, 2017 at Asia Pop Comic Con. We all went together because we're friends, and that's things that friends do, apparently. We went with a relatively big group. All of these people, for the most part, were part of CP version 1, like the very first incarnation of Culture Pit. And Paolo over here said that he wanted to start some kind of like social media geek thing. And I was like, I have also been thinking about doing something like this.
Yeah.
We've always loved this geek shit. We've always been really big fans of comic books and other media that stems from comic books existing. I'm a musician. I've been involved in the art scene locally, particularly in music, since I started college. So I've been involved in like helping out in events. I've been a runner. I've been a stage manager. I've been a sound coordinator. I have been a sound tech. So I knew a lot of what went into doing live events, and in turn made me think that maybe content creating is something I can do. I know those two things don't really line up, but like, I've spent most of my mature life performing, making sure that performances go as they should, and making sure live events go as they should. So to me, this was kind of the logical next step as a geek, as a performer, and as a person who wants to start his own thing. We've interacted with a lot of the geek world. I probably have had the most because I went to signings like comic Odyssey, a local comic shop here in the Philippines, has a lot of signings from local artists, and we actually have a lot of local artists that work for Marvel and DC. So I've also had a good amount of interaction with like the collectors scene of the Philippines and also the comic art scene of the Philippines. So yeah, I've had a lot of interactions with a lot of circles that would be defined by people as geeky. But I knew that if I wanted to start my own social media thing, I kind of would like to do it with friends.
Mm-hmm.
But me being the person I am, I didn't have a lot of friends.
Oops.
Arguably, I had friends from like 2013 to 2014. Then in 2015, I lost all of those friends, I think. And then all the way till 2016, I was basically friendless. Like I had one or two people as my friends, most of which are no longer my friends. And then after quite a bad time in my life, I was reintroduced to Spouse X through a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, who kept on going like, "Man, you should meet insert girlfriend's name here is boyfriend. He's really geeky and really cool. Like you guys are gonna get along." And of course, when people say this shit to me, I always go like, "Fucking doubt it, bro." Like, I understand that you think we get along because we have a lot in common, but that's exactly why I'm gonna fucking hate him. And then he arrived. He arrived. They said hi real quick. You asked me something about BVS, I think, and then like I think we added each other on Facebook from that point. And then like we got along well enough that we didn't hate each other, and we hung out maybe once or twice, and then everyone was like, "We should go to Asia Pop Comic Con together," and I was like, "Fuck, I have no friends, so let's fucking do it." So that happened, and the discussion specifically about CP happened, I think, the first day or the second day.
It was the first day.
In the first day in the Riverdale booth, the thing.
Yeah, the Netflix Riverdale booth.
Yeah, the Netflix booth and the Riverdale like diner booths.
Mm-hmm.
We had this conversation over like cheap as hell milkshakes.
But they were good. They were good. You know, don't get us wrong. They were good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when he brought up that he wanted to start like a social media group, basically of him expressing his geekiness and all of that, I was like, "Fuck! Here's my in." Because I knew that I wanted to make this content. All I knew, but I also knew that I didn't want to be like a poster boy type thing. I wanted to make the content while also somewhat maintaining my life in the shadows. And I knew that Pao, being an extrovert and the attention whore he is, that he would be that guy. That I finally found that guy, and I was like, "Fuck! Finally, someone who wants to do this and someone who I can make the face of this." But as we went on, as we progressed in this, as we talked concrete ideas of how we're going to do this, it started becoming more real. It started becoming more serious, and we've kind of established the people who would be on-screen personalities when we make content. We started out with 3 people. We don't need to go into the specific drama.
We didn't need to say their name.
we have a certain work ethic, and things didn't pan out, which led to the quick dissolution of the initial 3 on-screen personalities of CP. And the fit wasn't right for the most part. Like in the first incarnation, it was kind of like the most motivated people out of this were like me and Pao. And the rest were just like there, but they weren't really like
There.
geeks. They're not like us. Like they made our first pieces of content. They helped make most of our first pieces of content, which actually took off. I skipped over a couple things. We got our first job literally one day after we established the Facebook page, right?
Yeah, I think it was I wouldn't say it was a day after, but like
One
it
or
was
two
along that, yeah, it was like 1 or 2 days, and
Yeah.
that was when our first can we say who we got
Hold
our
on.
first.
Hold on.
Yeah.
To point out, we were like, we totally want to do events. Like
Yeah.
we totally want to cover events. We totally want to make videos covering events and like talking about our experiences in the event. We didn't know that this was gonna happen that soon. Like I thought we would have a little bit of time to build ourselves up, establish our personalities in front of cam and all of that. And then I asked a friend of mine if it's okay if we promote the page on their page. They ran a geek page, a dedicated geek page to a certain character.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
they were like, "Oh, are you going to this certain event that's happening in 1 or 2 days?" And or like at the weekend or whatever. And I was like, no. So he was like, "Do you guys want to cover it?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I guess so." Like I wasn't gonna say no. I wasn't gonna say no to our first job so soon. And we were able to cover quite a big event, actually, like an event that a lot of people went to. Do you want to say the event? I'm done with saying.
I'm okay as long as we're promoting them in a good light.
Yeah. It was Batman Day.
So
It was
Batman Day. It was Batman Harley Quinn Day. If you guys actually you guys could see the video somewhere it's in the page. Just look at facebook.com/realculturepit. It's one of our first videos. You'll see it there. And I'm actually pretty proud of that video because
quite a few likes on it. It was
yeah.
Yeah.
It was and that was where we made our first step. And to add on what Seb mentioned earlier, basically we just wanted to make this platform somewhere where people like us were very everyone's welcome to voice things out on Culture Pit, but this is something that we wanted to do because people like us, geeks, whatever you want to call it, we love having a platform where we can express ourselves, and it's not just me, it's not just Seb, it's not just Bon or Gab. Things, thoughts on whatever, they're always very welcome, and we're always willing to put them, on the page because we believe that, this is something that is made not just for me and Seb, but really ultimately for geeks worldwide. So, that was fun. Those events that we did. We're still open to them, by the way.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
When events start happening again, yes.
When events start happening again. So until then, just letting it out there.
Yeah, but it was an interesting experience because we were very much kind of thrown to the wolves very early on, and we've never done this before. But it was cool. We got to somewhat prove to ourselves that hey, we can do this, and the video coming out later on, getting a lot of engagements, getting a lot of comments, it made us, somewhat believe that hey, I think we got a chance at this. I think we got a chance at actually having a platform that at least a few people would give a shit about. We were not fully formed by any means, and we were not sure of ourselves yet as on-screen personalities. To this day, I'm not sure of myself as an on-screen personality. I'm not down at looking at that face. That face you're looking at, this face, not down for it. It is what it is. It is what it is. I got a lot to say. I don't got a lot to show, but if showing my face is what I got to do in order to like
You gotta do what you gotta do.
express, I'm gonna do that, and I've been doing that for fucking how many years now? 3? If we're saying we started in 2017, 3 years,
Yeah.
man.
3 years, man.
And this just kind of kept going. We got like some music gigs, because of a few friends I have that ran like music production, like events production groups, and we were able to cover some amazing events, events that like EP launches with Clara Benin and Ben on the bill, Dane Hipolito. We did some events with like bands like One Click Straight and the Adamant.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah, the adamant.
some of I know this one particular event, this phenomenal event. It was at B-Side Makati. Rest in peace, B-Side Makati. Man, and it
Gab's
was
heart
amazing.
breaks every
It was
time.
amazing. It was God. These names are so big. Quest.
Is this Red Knight?
Sparkcola, Four of Spades, December Avenue. So many big acts in OPM. Like, the thing with covering these events is that you're able to experience how these people do what they do. And there was this one point where like Quest basically went like, all right, when I say this certain line, everyone light their phones up. And
Yeah.
he did it, and the Jesus Christ, it was a
Lit
sea,
up.
a literal sea of lights. Exactly like that, but more. Imagine what Gab is doing, but like 300 people. I don't know how many there were, but there were so many people. And
Yeah.
we were given these opportunities by some really great friends of ours. And we were really thankful for the opportunity to cover these events. I hope we get to do more in the future.
Shameless plug.
Yeah,
Oh naman!
yeah.
Yeah.
But these
Yeah.
were really fun. These were really fun, and these were things that we didn't expect to be doing so early on. I gotta thank the people that like brought us there, like Sam Marquez.
Yeah.
Bro, if you're watching this, I don't know if you have time to watch this, but like Sam Marquez was often one of the ones that messaged us for this. Harry Menes, really good friend of mine, who just will not stop helping us out. Like, these were people that heard that CP existed and was just like, gotta give your friends some love. And this is a display of that. These opportunities really were so great, and we were so thankful for them, and it really kind of gave us hope of our ability to do this.
Yeah.
And this isn't easy on all
Yeah.
of us. We're not. There are a lot of perks to what we do, but it's not easy. Like, Pao lives in Las Piñas. Gab lives in Cavite, and so does Bon. But this was not the case before. This was like CP version 2. So some lived in Las Piñas, a couple of us live here in the north, one in Marikina, and me in San Juan. So a lot of the times how things would go the early days was like, all right, who can go? Can everyone go? If everyone
Yeah.
can go, they go. If only some can go, then only some can go. That limits our capacity to do certain things, but like, we manage every time.
Yeah.
And a lot of these jobs
You
are
always
like,
find a way.
yeah, a lot of these jobs are like standing for like 10 hours. and taking
Oh
pictures,
yeah,
taking videos.
yeah. Actually, like, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
like,
go.
one thing that people have that I want viewers to note is that how we are in After Dark is totally different from how we are when we do events. Like here, there's a reason actually that we branded it as After Dark is because this is the platform for the four of us to really just go at it, no holds barred, um, and just really say what we what we how we think or feel about something. Like if you guys saw After Dark episode, what was it, episode 4, you'll know that we really like we really had stuff to say. But like, yeah, there's a how we are here in the podcasts, whether it's After Dark or Buckle Bomb, versus how we are in like real life. When how we are with events, it's totally different. um yeah, so that's just worth noting that we're totally different people when we're here just talking amongst ourselves and talking in the internet versus how we are when we're like out there doing stuff. But yeah, so we had, like, to Seb's point, a lot of good friends invited us to do a lot of good things. Also, shout out to Anton Valencia for, like, puzzles. If you remember, that was one of my favorite gigs. Rest in peace, puzzles. You will be missed. And but like, it was just a lot of fun. It was just, we were all just, this just came from like the idea of having fun and just having a platform where we could like talk and voice out how we feel and how we view certain things and just having fun with it. So, yeah, I think like right now with how Culture Pit is right now, you have four individuals who just really want to express and really just want to make the most out of like what we're all into, and we just really want to share that with you, because we feel that having this is important, that having something like this where we could all talk about the same things and do it in a no holds barred environment and just really be 100% like honest with how we're all feeling. That is something that is something that is invaluable. That is something that you can't put a price on. And like, that's something that we feel is very important, especially now when a lot of people have this hindrance of like expressing themselves. They, for some reason they can't talk about it somewhere. They can, if people can't talk about it at home or at work, you can talk about it here. So that's something that we pride ourselves in, is we love hearing things from other people as well. But so
And
basically, yeah
the scene, the geek scene, more particularly the geek scene, because I wouldn't say that music's like this. There's a certain amount of this to music, but like not all music. There's been a lot of gatekeeping lately, and there's been a lot of like people exclusivity when it comes to certain fandoms. We're part of a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't like the toxicity that happens within the geek ethos. And we created CP as a way for us to be able to express our views that often don't line up. We used it to be able to express how we feel, how we see things in front of people that respected those opinions. And that's a big part of our branding, is that we understand people that don't agree, and we understand that in order for a geek product to be good and diverse, people who don't agree should be able to discuss things in a civil manner, in a manner of which we have respect for each other. And that's a big reason why there were so many incarnations of CP to begin with. we have been desperately trying to get to the point where we can gather up a group of people who give a shit about what we love, and give a shit about our opinions, but don't necessarily have to agree with them. We needed people that respect opinions, that respect diversity, so that we can all have this platform for people of different backgrounds and different opinions on these geek things to be able to say that fuck, we can love this shit and not have to hate on another thing. We're not gonna bury one thing in order to say that we love the other. We bury things quite a bit, especially on this podcast, but we're not. We do it more for comedic effect. We don't actually hate all these things. We're just kind of, being us. And that's why we've taken this journey, me and Pao, in order to find people who are like-minded and who are funny. These two guys being a couple of them, God, they're funny as hell. They're funny as hell when they're angry. They're funny as hell when they're not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
man, they got a lot to say when they really feel like it.
Oh yeah.
And we needed people who we could work with because we were doing events, and we can't shoulder all of the production because we don't know how to edit. That's what Bond's for. He makes everything look good. That's his job. He takes this mess, this huge fucking mess, and he makes it something you could consume and something that looks good, despite whatever limitations we may have. But God, man, we've gone through so much. We've gone through a lot. I've gone through hating Pao. I've gone through hating Pao for more than a year. Like we were culture pit for like 3 years, and I hated him for maybe 1.5.
It's like half, dude.
But no. I may have hated him past that time that you hated him. We went through some shit. We went through a lot of growing pains, and these were like, we've gotten to the point where we almost broke up. Like, not just CP, but I think like the entire thing is just us. It's as people with human relationships with each other. Yeah, that almost fucking ended.
As
like
friends.
Friends. Yeah.
Muntik na hindi maging tropa.
Yeah, man. Muntik na akong
Yikes!
Yeah, like the story of TP is as much a story about the love of geek things as much as it is a story about friends overcoming obstacles and overcoming things being shot in each other's ears about each other, and learning how to first work through it and then kind of learn how to become friends again, which is what happened like last year.
Yes.
Yeah. We went through so much shit, man. We had people who had feelings. Towards certain people. The shit that was being told to us made us doubt each other, and this was also a point in time where I think Pao had a lot of doubts in his own ability to be part of this. And man was that close. That was like a close as fuck call.
Man.
Like we were one bad day away from like saying fucking it off. You know.
And like the Seb's point, this was not an easy journey by no means. Like this was ups and downs, and probably honestly more downs than ups, but like we're not perfect, there's things that we had to overcome, like what he said, there's things that we had to really like overcome to still to still have this standing like, you know, where it is right now, just to just have this continue. And like, you know, I'm happy that we got to overcome them, but like, I guess, um I don't know, it's not something that we had to that we could have fixed overnight.
Yeah.
And like, I think that was the reality of Culture Pit, was there were so many issues where there were so many issues in CP where we couldn't fix it like overnight. Like, you know, how on a personal like side, on my end, like how, you know, how my parents would necessarily like agree to it, would they approve of it, you know, things I had to overcome, things I had to like, I had to reach this compromise with my parents to like, so I could continue this. And I'm sure there have been a lot of, I'm sure there've been a lot of like personal stuff or first personal issues here, like with the other members, but like with one another, with me and Seb, yeah, it was a close call. And like, well, I don't know, man, I'm just happy we're still here.
We have gone through, honestly, like how much shit we've gone through in terms of growing pains reminds me a lot about Foo Fighters. Like they just went through so many
Oh yeah.
fucking lineup changes so fucking quickly. The thing about us is like we got given a lot of big jobs super quickly. Like I think we got given big jobs before we were ready to take
Yeah.
on big jobs. We were thankful for them, but this kind of made us super confused on what we wanted to do. I don't know if this is on your end too, but like we did big things. It got too big for us. We started doing things separately, or rather Pao did things separately. And I was just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So we got confused. And I was wondering whether he was in on it still, like whether he still wanted this. And then we had a day where we just really had to figure it out, to sit with each other and figure out like, can I work with you still? Do I want to work with you still? Or will this have to go on in some other way without you, or maybe even without me, or maybe as an incarnation that has none of the original members. I don't know. Which is a really nerve-wracking experience. Like every day before BatCon, on the week of BatCon, I was just like, I don't want to do this job, man. I don't want to do this. Like I want to bail on the entire event. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't because of like the organizers. It was really just an internal thing.
Yeah, dude.
You know, with us, like, yeah. Just to make that clear, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's kind of like we went through war with each other, and we were still kind of not over the war. Like we were still kind of like half doubting our ability to do this, and then we got thrown to the wolves again with this event. And then we arrived at the event, and I was just like, man, I don't even know how this event looked like. I don't know if it's going to be a good event or a bad event. I don't know if the guests are going to be terrible people. And then we arrive at the event, and it just clicks for us. I don't know if it did it for you too, but like when we arrived at the event, we were like, oh shit, this is going to be good. Like, I don't know why I know this. I just know it's going to fucking be good. And then it was. And I think it took about another hour to get there before we did. Because I know that like
we got there.
Me, Gab, Redacted, we got there. And
Redacted.
Rest in
Bon
peace.
was there.
we got there.
Bon was there.
And
It was first.
Bon there.
That was
Bon
my,
was there.
that was
Bon
my
was
first
there.
gig.
Yeah,
man.
Bon was there.
That was my first CP gig.
That was the
Bon
first job with
first.
Bon.
Yeah.
That was the first job with Bon. First job with Gab.
Yes.
Actually,
yeah.
I'm not so sure if
Bon
that's
Bear-
accurate. I think Bon's first job with us was with, remember the Overwatch event?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
the Overwatch.
Game Over
in
Cafe or
Game Over.
Mm.
Yeah, that
yeah,
was
Game Over
whatever
Cafe.
that is.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Mika, hi. But yeah, so you know,
it was a crazy
that was when I think during the Overwatch event we were all still a little hostile because
Dude,
you know we haven't.
Dude, I just realized. We did an Overwatch event before BatCon. Oh my god, how were we emotionally ready to do BatCon?
Dude, no, that was when I was telling you, like, man, we gotta. There's a lot of things like we gotta do this, we gotta do that, then we gotta do BatCon, and that was like the most emotional 2 weeks of my life. So, you know, yeah, that was a riot. That was a party. That was a party. But like that was a party that we all desperately wanted to get out of because like things were just
True.
getting crazy. And then like yeah, to Seb's point, the moment BatCon happened, it was like, you know, we just knew what we were gonna do. And yeah, honestly, like I know like for the past half hour we've been talking about like how you and I've been doing things, but honestly, it wouldn't have been possible without Gab and Bon at all.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how they just basically, how everyone, not just them, but like how everyone just stepped up and did what they had to do for that event. It was, you know, I think that was when we knew that, okay, yeah, this can work. This will work. Like, this is, you know, we're onto something here. And like, true enough, you know, we've achieved great things is what I'm gonna say. So
Mhm.
you know,
And like
yeah, and
we kind of met Gab and Bon at an interesting time. We met Gab at an APCC, like the second APCC, and the one where we were able to go.
2018.
Yeah.
yeah, media.
Dude, I cried. I cried on after the first day of being media for APCC, because like APCC was the farthest thing from our minds. Like we were just like, it's gonna probably take 2 years before we do APCC. We did it the very fucking next year.
I know, man.
that-
And it's a good thing we did because 2019 didn't have APCC. So,
Yeah, dude. It was
Yeah.
the last.
Yeah, the last so far. Hopefully they come back, man.
Hopefully they come back.
But yeah, it was the dream, man. Like we called APCC Christmas. So
Yes.
It still
that's
is.
how- it's how we
Christmas.
have to celebrate APCC. Yeah,
We haven't
Gab,
had Christmas in a long time.
yeah, Christmas has been dead for a while. Jesus has been skipping his birthday. So we met Gab, officially met Gab, at least me, at the media room in the APCC media room where all of the media people hold their
Work.
papers and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where they work.
Yeah. We got introduced to each other after we did the panel with Vin Jones,
Yes.
the
Oh,
immortal Iron Fist.
He's such a
Yeah.
pretty.
Smells really good.
He's a handsome man.
man.
He's a handsome
He's a
man.
handsome
A
man.
meaty
He
man.
looks so fresh.
Yeah,
He looks so fresh.
yeah. I was able to ask him a nice question. I like that question.
Very good question.
Yeah. And then after we met Gab, and I was like, huh, cool. They don't think I'm offensive. I think I can roll with these guys.
Yeah.
And then we were friends. We started hanging out after APCC, except for Pao. This was
Yeah.
this was when the Fire Nation attacked and Pao vanished.
Now looking in hindsight, it was
it-
it was the Fire Nation.
Oh man,
yeah, man,
Jesus.
vanished. When we needed him the most, the Avatar vanished.
Sorry, I'm back now. So
And I met Bon during a birthday celebration. Yeah,
Yeah, it was your birthday.
yeah. And all I could say when I met Bon was like, "Fuck, this guy's funny as shit." Uh, he's funny as shit. And then I didn't see Bon for another good few months. And then we started needing an editor for I don't know what. But like, I think it was the Overwatch thing.
It was the
Yeah.
Overwatch thing
Yeah,
and
we,
Babcon.
we
Both.
needed an editor for that. And Bon apparently said, yes, I still don't know why you did it. Thank you, but I don't know why you did it.
YOLO.
We don't want to be the ones to tell your story. We've gotten to the point where we could discuss Culture Pit version 3. This is Culture Pit version 3. We've had 3 Culture Pit incarnations.
How do you make that with the Matt Hardy sign?
Wait, no, this is 4. This is 4 and we're going into 5. Yeah. This is Culture Pit version 4, going into 5, and man, let's start with Bon. What got you to say yes to joining us, man?
Honestly,
It's
I can't
don't know.
even remember.
He's just
All I
like,
can
"Oh,
remember is okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. Cool, fine. Let's shoot videos and stuff and whatnot. And here I am.
He promised video games and geek shit. You get the video
Yeah.
it. And then he said,
Oh yeah. Because it
Yeah.
was at Game Over cafe,
Yeah.
bar, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember.
So yeah,
I remember.
but basically,
I remember.
can't even remember like the main reason I said yes.
just did.
I just did.
I remember.
Let's go,
I remember like
shoot videos and stuff and whatnot.
But I
I remember
remember the
after-
pitch. I remember the pitch. It was at Black Apartment.
Oh
Um, Yeah. I talked to Bon like, hey, we need an editor. And then we're feeding him wings. We're feeding him wings. It's like,
It's like
Bon,
an animal in the
yeah,
zoo.
he's eating wings.
of course you
Like-
were.
Yeah, sure. I'll do it. I did
like,
it at the
"Alright."
perfect time because he was eating wings.
So I remember the car ride on the way because I think after the Overwatch event, Bon rode with me going home, and I remember the car ride. It was weird because I'd never met this person in my life. I just know that he's helping me out with Culture Pit, and I'm just like, all right, cool, man. I can bring you home. I can help you like get at least the halfway point wherever you're going. And I think I brought him like as far as like Evia or something like that. And the whole time, again, I'd never met him before, so I was like, so what's your name? So, yeah. Oh, that's cool. What do you do for a living, man? So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot, and he's like the chillest guy ever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, cool. I could roll with this guy. And we started talking about wrestling. We started talking about Bon. You remember that car, right? Like we started talking about like, his favorite wrestler, Sami Zayn. That's how I knew. And yeah, he's there. He's always there. Sammy's always with us.
Yeah.
He's the real Intercontinental Champion,
Yes.
AJ Styles. So, we just started we just started talking and we started realizing, oh, we're both into wrestling. That's awesome. So, there you go. That was history. That was how me and Bon cultivated a friendship.
Over
I
wrestling.
just
Thanks,
want to
wrestling.
say that I asked
Thanks,
why
wrestling.
Bon joined us, mostly because I still don't know why. Like, and you think that we're like writing down all the shit we're about to say beforehand? We don't know. I still don't know. And that was the first time I found out. Like, thanks, Bon. I know that it was a very, like, we desperately needed someone who could do this with us. Like, we really were so out of options. So when we got Bon, he was a fucking blessing, and things have been so fucking smooth since then. Holy shit. But yeah, man. Bon is the fucking most phenomenal editor ever, man.
Not really, but
Chill
Yeah,
motherfucker. And he's cool as hell. And Gab, how the fuck did you become one of us?
No, I remember
Yeah,
the
you
story.
remember it, pal.
Yeah, I remember the story. So like I think it was
Even
Comic-Con
before
Asia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Comic-Con Asia.
Comic-Con Asia. Fuck. God, Comic-Con Asia.
Oh
All
my
right,
god.
so like Comic-Con Asia, Seb, you and I were going around, like we were waiting in line for God knows how long. Besides, I know we were stuck outside
That's a
SMX
whole
for at
podcast
least.
episode on its own, bro.
Oh no, that's a podcast episode on its own. But like in basically, in a nutshell, we were waiting outside SMX for like a good 3 hours.
Yee.
Until we got in.
Yikes.
And oh my god, I still can't fathom to this day why does a geek convention have beer pong? I'll never know why. But like, you know, so like
Why is there a
we had
giant
Comic-Con. What?
Why is there a giant pal booth?
I know. Just, do they not know?
A mess.
Anyway, so like yeah, we Comic-Con Asia, we were going around. We were getting ready to meet the Overwatch crew, Seb, and like. And by the way, shout out to them. I miss them so much. Anyway, so yeah, we were walking around and we saw Gab, and I was like, "Hey, man, what's up?" And then like he was like, "Oh, I'm doing." He's basically writing an article for. I think it was for work. And I was like, "Oh, cool. Okay. If you want to collab sometime, let's do it." And then he was like, "Yeah, sure." So. A few weeks before APCC 2018, I was in the US. I don't know if I was in LA, if I was in Florida, but like I messaged him. I was like, "Hey man, are you going?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm going." I was like, "All right, cool. I'll see you there. Are you media as well?" And he was like, "Yeah, media." So cool. All right. So the whole time, I was with Seb in the media room, and we were just expecting Gab to be there.
No, hold on.
I was expecting Gab.
How
to
do
be there.
you know Gab? Like, how'd you guys meet? I don't know how.
Oh, God. Oh man.
It's not like
look,
you went to Comic-Con Asia and you suddenly my name.
if you
Like,
think
oh, no,
Comic-Con
we're
Asia is if you think Comic-Con Asia is a podcast on its own, how Gab and I met is 2 podcasts.
Yeah.
So
2 episodes.
no, 2 episodes of After Dark. But no, like in summary, Gab and I met through someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
third
this was a
someone.
long time ago. This was like way before I even met Seb. So like
Yeah.
technically, I
2014.
met Gab first.
Yeah.
So,
I think that was 2014 too.
it was 2014.
2014,
We
yeah.
were both working in BGC, and I was like, all right, this guy's pretty cool. And then yeah, stuff happened again. 2 podcasts. So yeah, APCC 2018 happened. I was expecting Gab. I wasn't expecting him to bring Redacted along with him. So yeah, Gab, Seb and I had a table. I made it a point to be there at least 7 in the morning, just so we could reserve the damn table. And like, I was like, Gab, sit with us. And Redacted was there, and like, I don't know what costume he was wearing. I don't know if he thought he looked like the character. He didn't. So,
That's a different podcast on its own.
that's another podcast. I'm sorry, but like, yeah. So that's how Gab and I basically just started talking, and then like, we started actually. Gab, if you remember,
Yeah, I do.
we started going through APCC just together, man. Like we weren't. It was Culture Pit, and and you. I don't know if I can say where you work, but like.
Yeah,
Loop Me, there you go. So it was Culture Pit and Loop Me, and like we were just running through the event together, and like we were just like, hey, look, why don't you roll with us as well? Like we're not telling you to quit your job, but at the same time, we could use someone like you. We could like
Is that when it happened?
do stuff. Yeah, that was when it happened, and like Gab was like, all right, cool, I'm in. So yeah, that was the journey that we had to. Yeah, man. Like
that's Pau's perspective. How it's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
okay. What's my perspective? Dude,
you were.
to my recollection, you came into CP around, the Fire Nation's attack, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
At the same time.
What was that conversation? What was... Because I know we had that conversation because it could have only been me. What made you say yes to CP, man?
Actually, I saw the page even before because we were friends. Yeah, like what Pao said, we were friends way back, like 2015, I think. And
Yeah.
then I saw the page like built up. Like, oh, this looks cool. Oh, it looks great. They do events and shit. And in my mind, I was like, I want in. I want in.
Let me
No,
in.
for real. I want in, but I need an in. So I planned it, and then I saw them, and then I
Oh my
planned the shit out of it because
I didn't
saw it-
know. I didn't know that.
this is
I don't know.
Comic Con Asia, and then I messaged Pao, hey Pao, CP going to Comic Con Asia? He's like, yeah, dude. All right, I'll see you there. And then and then what Pao has told us, then I rolled with them for a while, and then APCC. Then this is where I bring the hammer. I'm gonna be in. I'll bring redacted with me.
That was your hammer.
Yeah, dude.
That was your
it.
hammer.
Yeah, that was my front. Like, oh yeah. And then we met at APCC. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna make
We hate each
redacted.
other.
Yeah, I'm gonna make redacted say funny stuff. Then we're gonna be good friends. No, because he's good at that.
Because
I'm not really good at
we
that.
were good friends.
No, we were friends. We're
What are you
no, I'm
talking
not
about?
friends with Seb that at that
Yeah.
point. Right,
No.
back
No.
then. Then
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, then I'll bring him and then we'll be friends. Then I'm gonna get in. and then I made kind of. I want
This
it.
is fucking with me. I didn't know.
I'll do
I
it.
didn't know that you had this much like intention. I had no idea.
But I can remember Pao. I messaged Pao like, "Hey, how does Culture Pit work?" And then he
I
wrote.
told him.
Yeah, he told me like, I kind of want to be a contributor or something. Then so, and then that was the first hint. It's like, yeah, but remember, we don't really. This is not really like a full-time work yet. So, but but yeah, I can talk to the guys and you can write stuff for us. Yeah, I want in, but I really want in. So I,
Yeah, man.
I
That was-
laid out the plan and shit. Yeah, and then I'm in. Yeah, and now I'm in.
I
yeah,
don't know.
basically, yeah. And like
never
this just
wanted
goes
to-
out to people who watch this. If you want in, and if you want in, it's cool. Just remember, you said you wanted it. This was you. This was on you. This is your decision, not mine, not Seb's or Gab's or Bon's. This is your decision. If you want in, that's fine.
Wait, no, this isn't an open invitation. We just wanted.
You want some? Come get some.
No. I'm an introverted as hell motherfucker. No, if they want some, then maybe let's become friends and we'll see.
Oh man.
I
Yeah.
want to meet new people, man. Don't do this. I'm scared of people, man. This is why you're here, because I don't want to. Oh, people.
That's Paul's job. That's
Oh,
Paul's-
fuck.
That's my job. That's my job. Yeah.
People's your job. My job is to say fuck all the time.
Yeah. And
Oh,
again, for those watching, like, this is After Dark. You will hear F-bombs here and there. Like, it's not, again, this isn't how we are when we're doing, like, normal events or live events or doing media stuff. This is just, we're different in real life. I'd like to believe we're different, like, when we're doing
You get to see
We're-
our- on the podcast.
No, but like,
and
I also want to make it clear that like we're not lying either when we do the event stuff. Like we're not
Yeah.
Just because we're more PG when we do the event stuff doesn't mean it's a completely different personality. No, we just personally believe as a brand that like if we're gonna do shit like events, that we would have a certain amount of professional conduct when doing the events. But when we're making content like this, then our job is to be ourselves. Like, we're doing this for us, so let's act like we're doing it for us. When we're doing events, we're doing things for us and for them. So that's the mindset going through it. We don't want people to think that, like, just because I didn't say fuck a million times in this one video doesn't mean I was faking it. Nah, man, I'm just an adult, and I do adult things. Not like that. Well, maybe like that.
Well, maybe like that.
A bit of that.
Well, maybe like that.
But yeah, man, like we are still here somehow, and this where we are now has been such a long time coming. Wait, Bond's not moving. Bao's not moving.
I'm here. I'm moving.
Okay, there we go. Now you're all moving. Yeah. What we are right now has been a long time coming. It was a lot of hard work, and we're happy with what we have right now. We're so happy we've gotten to this point. We're releasing more content.
It was a lot of fights. It was a lot of fights.
It was a lot of fights. It was a lot of fights. But I'd like to think very mature fights. Like if we made a documentary about that, like some kind of monster type of documentary about that, it would have shown like the worst times for us. But I think we handled it really well.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
There were a lot of opportunities for us to be conniving, sniveling cunts, and we choose were resolved face to face. And there's no bad blood from the Avatar times. Those that didn't quite fit the brand have, been respectfully terminated from Culture Pit. Like, it's not about personally hating them, because there were people who were here then that aren't here now. Most of the time it wasn't because we hated them. Like, some just could not contribute, some just didn't have time, some just didn't fit the brand, and others just weren't willing to do the work. We don't have a lot of demands, but like, we if we're gonna do any type of work, we need people who are able to commit time and who want to commit time. And this is the first time that we've ever had a lineup that commits time and wants to, and is actually into the things that we're into. So
again, if you want to contribute,
this is currently our best incarnation, and we are growing.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in the metaphorical sense of our content is growing, which it is, but we're also probably gonna have a couple new faces soon.
Yeah. We are.
And we're having fucking fun, man. Like, this quarantine is shit. Like, we hate this time. We hate the Rona. We hate having to stay home forever. We hate that most of our content has been through Google Hangouts and Zoom meetings. We really, really want to hang out with each other again.
Oh yeah, and for sure.
We're hoping to be making content with each other face to face when this is all over. But the blessing in disguise of this time is that we're able to release so much more content than we would have been otherwise. And we're all losing our minds, but CP helps keep us sane, and I'd like to think that it keeps all of us sane. I don't know if it's driving you guys nuts. But yeah, in this time, like, we hope that what we've been releasing has been helping you guys relieve some stress and some of the levity from the events of the current times, because we know that, as for us at least, doing these podcasts for you guys with you guys has really helped us kind of process our feelings and express ourselves and have something to do that's positive. And that's why we love doing CP so much, because we don't necessarily live the happiest lives, but we're really happy doing this.
Yeah. And of course we're happy doing this, it's great doing this with the four of us, but of course, if for some reason something we do impacts you and just makes you want to be a bit more vocal with something you're interested in, and it's something that impacts you in a way, that's as long as you guys are reacting to it, that makes the world of difference for us. So if you've been there since day one and you're here with us now, thank you so much. And I think right now is a really good time to say that Culture Pit today, as of today, is 3 years old. So we've been here for 3 years now officially, and we couldn't have done it without you guys. So if you guys want to share something, if you guys want to contribute, we're here. This is a platform, and this is
as long as interact with us, hit on us, just
totally.
Say you hate us, say you hate other people. We don't even know. Shit on your ex on our page. We don't give a shit. We love your comments. We could make a review of some shit, fucking Ghost of Tsushima, and you just be like, you know what, my girl, she's a rape, and we're like, yes, more comments like this. You did this on the Ghost of Tsushima review. What? That's a comment. We like that.
Yeah. Yep. So what? Sorry.
Oh no! What?
I don't know, man. We just love making content for people, and we just are trying to use this platform to reach out to basically everybody. And we hope that it has done that. Because we're not just about the comics, we're not just about the movies, we're not just about the music. We're just about being really weird motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
Who want to reach out to the other weird motherfuckers. Bro, crawl out of your holes. Swing down from your spider webs, because we're here for you, buddy.
Yep.
Engage, please. Oh, okay. Gab wants to get engaged, so if
what?
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
But yeah. Also, I just wanna take this time to it's good that we were able to finally reintroduce ourselves to you guys, and just really tell you what we're all about. So thank you for sticking with us, and make sure by the way you tune in to the next episode of After Dark. And of course, we'll be having our next episode of the Buckle Bomb podcast, where again, it's all wrestling. So here in Culture Pit, it's not just comics, movies, and games and whatnot. There's also a lot of wrestling. So for the wrestling fans out there, we got.
We like to fight, man. We love violence as long as it's planned out beforehand, dude.
As long as it's predetermined.
If we don't know what's gonna happen before the fight, we don't want anything to do with it. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Kidding. I love all violence. Violence is
There you go. So if you guys just stay tuned for the next After Dark podcast and stay tuned for the next Buckle Bomb podcast. And of course, we've got some unboxing videos on the way for you guys.
I'm going to show you guys our packages.
Sure. And we're going to show you how to actually unbox something.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there you go. And if you guys have nothing to say, I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here.
All right. There you go. So, so by the way, we will be putting the previous episode of the After Dark podcast on the link, and as well as the previous episode of the Buckle Bomb podcast. So just check out the link below. And so for more of our content, again, just check out facebook.com/realculturepit, Twitter, also at Real Culture Pit.
We're doing Twitter again.
We're doing Twitter again. There you go. Managed by our very own Bon. And of course, we have our Instagram account. So please follow that at Real Culture Pit. And also, of course, our YouTube channel. You're already here. Just check out all our other content. All our interviews are up so far. All our podcasts are up. And just be sure to tune in. And until then, of course, until then, we'll see you again. This is your boy Paolo. This is Seb, Gab, and Bon. We are Culture Pit. We are here, and we will see you guys soon. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, all that stuff. Stay tuned, and of course, stay cultured.